Did you know the humble $1,900 Pinto was secretly transformed into a Porsche-beating monster? This forgotten econobox could outrun sports cars costing 3 times as much, yet almost nobody has heard of it. Today, we're revealing how a California Ford dealer turned the cheap Pinto into the lethal PANGRA, a turbocharged pocket rocket that embarrassed Porsches and Datsuns. Stick around to learn why this revolutionary approach disappeared just as quickly as it appeared. Before we reveal how this econobox became a sports car slayer, let's look at the unlikely canvas that started it all. The Ford Pinto, unveiled in 1970, was Ford's answer to the growing import competition. A bare-bones economy car built to meet a strict price point of $1,900. With uninspired styling and modest performance from its 90-horsepower 4-cylinder engine, the Pinto was designed for one thing only: basic transportation at the lowest possible cost. It wasn't particularly good-looking, and it certainly wasn't fast. But where most people saw a forgettable commuter car, one man saw the foundation for something extraordinary. Jack Stratton wasn't your typical car dealer. As the general sales manager at Huntington Ford in California, Stratton was a visionary, a tinkerer, and, above all else, a performance enthusiast. In an era when American muscle cars were suffering from rising insurance premiums and stinging emission standards, Stratton took a completely different approach. Rather than lamenting the death of big block V8s, he embraced the new, more emissions-friendly platforms as the key to a new era of performance. For Stratton, the newly introduced Pinto offered the perfect foundation. At just 2,000 pounds, the Pinto was significantly lighter than competitors like the Chevy Vega. With its 94-inch wheelbase, it was even shorter than the Ford Maverick. Stratton recognized that with the right modifications, this lightweight, compact platform could become something truly special. This car could not only set the tone for American compacts, but potentially outperform popular imports like the Datsun 240Z and Porsche 914. But to transform an economy car into a legitimate sports car, Stratton needed to completely reimagine its identity, starting with its bland appearance. To compete with true sports cars and be taken seriously, the Pinto needed more than just mechanical upgrades. It needed to look the part. Stratton enlisted fiberglass specialist Bob Crow to develop a completely new front end that would transform the Pinto's bland appearance. The result was dramatic. The unremarkable front end was replaced with an aggressive shark-nosed design that looked more like a C3 Corvette than an economy car. The fiberglass front kit added pop-up headlights operated by a hand lever, slimmed-down fenders, and a much more streamlined angular profile. The modified Pinto was now a full 10 inches longer in the front, giving it a sleek, purposeful stance. Suddenly, the Pinto didn't look like a grocery getter. It looked cool, especially with the bumpers removed. The rear end remained mostly unchanged, as did the doors and quarter panels, but the transformation was unmistakable. The Pinto PANGRA had a presence. But looking fast wasn't enough. Stratton needed to ensure the PANGRA could corner like a proper sports car. Now, looks alone would not be enough to make Pinto a serious competitor. The stock economy car suspension needed a complete overhaul to give the PANGRA the cornering ability it would need to compete with dedicated sports cars. Stratton worked with suspension specialist Coney to develop a comprehensive handling package. This included specially valved shocks, a 2-inch drop in ride height, 7-inch wide magnesium wheels, and completely revised suspension geometry. These modifications transformed the Pinto into a nimble handler that could dart through corners with precision and poise. According to period Huntington Ford brochures, the PANGRA could pull 0.74 Gs on a skid pad before breaking traction. Those impressive figures actually exceeded the capabilities of both the Porsche 914 and Datsun 240Z, which typically pulled around 0.73 Gs. The once humble Pinto was now ready to hunt some more exotic prey. With the chassis dialed in, all that remained was to give the PANGRA enough power to back up its newfound cornering prowess. The stock Pinto engine, a modest 2.0-liter inline-4, was never designed for performance. In factory form, it barely produced 90 horsepower on a good day. But Stratton had no intention of following the path of cars like the Motion Vega, which stuffed V8s under the hood at the expense of balance and handling. Instead, Stratton recognized that forced induction offered the perfect solution, a way to dramatically increase power without significantly affecting weight distribution. For the PANGRA, this meant adding a turbocharger. Stratton partnered with legendary AR tuner A.K. Miller, a name synonymous with turbocharger innovation in the 1970s. Together, they fitted the Pinto's 2.0-liter single overhead cam 4-cylinder with an air research turbocharger drawn through a 2-barrel carburetor. The compression ratio was lowered to 7:1 to create a more boost-friendly environment, allowing the turbo to run at approximately 10 psi. The system even included water injection to ensure the engine could handle increased cylinder pressures without compromising durability. This engineering detail also helped the PANGRA remain 100% EPA compliant when similar turbo applications like the Yenko Turbo Vegas couldn't get EPA approval. The results were impressive. Power output jumped from the stock 90 horsepower to a remarkable 175 horsepower, nearly doubling the factory figure. The PANGRA could now sprint from 0 to 60 in just 7.5 seconds and run the quarter mile in the low 15-second range. Not bad for a Pinto. With its performance credentials established, Stratton was ready to offer this Porsche-beating Pinto to the public. The Pinto PANGRA entered the market during a brief but significant window from 1972 to 1973, exclusively through Huntington Ford in California. What made the PANGRA sales approach particularly interesting was the flexibility it offered enthusiasts who wanted to experience the transformed Pinto. For those seeking the complete experience, Huntington Ford offered fully assembled turnkey PANGRA models directly from the show floor. Priced at approximately $5,000, these complete cars represented a significant premium over the standard Pinto's $1,900 price tag. Despite costing more than double the base model, the fully built PANGRAs still offered remarkable value considering their performance capabilities. These dealer-built models came with everything: the aggressive fiberglass front end, the complete suspension package, the turbocharging system, and exclusive interior upgrades, including Recaro seats and a special custom dashboard that gave the cabin a more driver-focused sporting feel. However, Stratton recognized that not everyone could afford the complete package, and some enthusiasts preferred to get their hands dirty with their builds. To accommodate these customers, Huntington Ford developed an innovative 3-tier kit system that allowed Pinto owners to transform their cars incrementally as their budgets allowed. The first option was the Level 1 kit, which focused purely on aesthetics. For $600, customers received the unpainted fiberglass front fascia that dramatically transformed the Pinto's appearance with its shark-nosed design and pop-up headlights. For those more serious about handling performance, the Level 2 kit, known as the PANGRA Can-Am suspension package, was available for approximately $1,100. This comprehensive handling upgrade included the specially valved Coney shocks, lowering springs that dropped the car by 2 inches, upgraded sway bars for improved cornering stability, and the necessary revised suspension geometry components. The final piece of the puzzle was the Level 3 kit, which delivered the heart of the PANGRA's performance advantage: the powertrain upgrades. Priced at $691, this kit included the complete air research turbocharger system, the water injection setup, crucial for maintaining reliability and emissions compliance, the custom exhaust manifold designed to work with the turbo, header pipe, crossover pipe, and all the necessary mounting hardware and brackets. Despite its impressive performance, the PANGRA would ultimately become one of the rarest performance cars of the era. During its brief production run, estimates suggest that Stratton sold between 20 and 50 complete turnkey PANGRA cars, plus around 100 kits to DIY enthusiasts. Today, only a handful remain, making the PANGRA one of the rarest and most obscure performance cars of the 1970s. The Pinto PANGRA represents a fascinating chapter in American automotive history, a glimpse of what might have been if more manufacturers had embraced small displacement turbocharged engines in the 1970s rather than struggling to maintain V8 performance in the face of tightening emissions regulations. Now that's the shocking story of the Ford Pinto. It became a car that was the blueprint for American performance that never truly materialized. If you found this video interesting, please like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dives into forgotten automotive history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the open road.